There are moments when time bends, moments when you can feel the universe shift. The birds sound different. The light hits the walls in a way it never has before. You wake up feeling like something ended while you slept, even though everything around you looks the same. These aren't just passing feelings. These are indicators that you've moved, not through space, but through possibility. This is timeline jumping, and if you're watching this, you're already in the middle of it. But what exactly is it? And how does the mystic navigate these invisible transitions? What if you could move into a reality where the healed, empowered, fully expressed version of you is already waiting? You can, and chances are you already have. Let's go deeper. To understand timeline jumping, we have to release the most stubborn illusion of all, the illusion that reality moves in a straight line. It doesn't. Time, as most people know it, is a structure built for the third dimension, a kind of scaffolding for your earthly journey. But the soul is not bound by time. It exists across multiple possibilities at once. Think of your life like a grand library. Each book is a version of you. Some you've read, some you've glimpsed, and some are waiting for you to crack them open. Each chapter is a choice. Each sentence, a frequency. And you, right now, are the reader deciding where your attention and your energy will go. The mystic understands this deeply. Reality is not fixed. It is a layered field of options, stacked and shifting based on your vibration. Timeline jumping is what happens when your energetic signature becomes so coherent, so clear, that it automatically locks you into a new version of reality. Not because you forced it, but because you became it. The shift happens within, and the outer world simply reflects the new broadcast. You've likely felt it before. That sudden inner peace after releasing a deep pattern. That quiet moment of clarity when the path ahead suddenly feels lighter. That moment you forgave, let go, surrendered, and the world responded. That's not just coincidence. That's a jump. Now let's go deeper. What causes the jump? From the mystic's view, it is not desire, not hustle, not scripting or visualizing or demanding the universe comply. It is alignment. Alignment with your soul's frequency, with your deeper truth, with your future self. You see, your soul already knows every possible version of you. It exists beyond space and time, and it constantly sends signals, nudges, insights, synchronicities that guide you toward your highest path. But most people are too distracted to notice, too attached to the noise of the current timeline to shift into the next. Timeline jumping happens when your inner resonance becomes so undeniably aligned with a new possibility that your external environment must rearrange itself to reflect the change. It's like a tuning fork. When you raise your frequency, only the versions of reality that match can stay. Everything else falls away. This is why a single moment of authenticity, a choice to speak your truth, honor your body, follow your calling, can catalyze more change than months of mental strategy. Because the soul doesn't speak in logic, it speaks in vibration. So ask yourself, who are you when no one is watching? What version of you quietly longs to be embodied? And what parts of you must be released for that version to live? If this message stirs something ancient in your soul, subscribe, because what comes next reveals even more. Let's bridge science and spirit for a moment. In quantum theory, particles exist in a state of superposition, holding multiple potential outcomes until observed. In other words, reality doesn't collapse into form until consciousness witnesses it. But the mystic has known this all along. Your consciousness is not just a passive observer, it is a portal. And the more present, grounded, and self-aware you become, the more powerfully you can choose the timeline you experience. Every breath you take is a crossroads. Every emotion you hold is a vote. Every story you continue to believe is a command to reality itself. You're not manifesting from a wish. You're manifesting from a state of being. This is where the path deepens, because it's not just about thinking differently. It's about embodying differently. True timeline jumping doesn't happen in the mind alone. It happens in the nervous system, in the gut, in the heart, in the thousands of micro decisions you make each day. That's where the portal opens. And when your vibration becomes steady enough, when your body, mind, and spirit move in harmony, you don't have to chase the future. The future bends to meet you. Now, let's talk about what happens in between, because it's not always smooth. There are moments, maybe even whole chapters of life, when you feel like you're floating between worlds. The old life doesn't fit anymore, but the new one hasn't fully landed. You've made the leap, but your feet haven't quite touched the ground. This is the void, the liminal, the sacred space of rebirth. And this space is where many turn back. They confuse discomfort with failure. They assume that because the new timeline hasn't fully formed yet, they must have done something wrong. But the mystic knows, this is the gestation. Like a seed beneath the soil, you are becoming long before you bloom. And in that space, your job is not to rush, but to anchor. Anchor your frequency. Anchor your truth. Anchor your trust in the path your soul has chosen. Because the pull of the old timeline will come. Old habits, old thoughts, old relationships that echo the past version of you. But you are not required to answer. The test is simple. Will you remember who you are, even when no one else does yet? The more you stay rooted in your new vibration, the more solid the new timeline becomes. This is not about denial. It's about discernment. You are not abandoning your past. You are transcending it. So let's return to the question. What is timeline jumping? It is not just a spiritual trend, not just a theory for the metaphysically curious. It is the lived experience of the soul when it finally stops pretending and begins to remember. Timeline jumping is what happens when the vibrational signal of your being becomes so clear, so aligned, so unshakably rooted in truth, that the universe around you is forced to rearrange itself to match the new frequency you've become. But here's the key most miss. The jump is subtle, silent, personal. You don't always notice it in fireworks or visions or grand cosmic downloads. Sometimes, it looks like washing the dishes while feeling inexplicably peaceful. Sometimes it's deleting an old contact without drama. Sometimes it's saying no without guilt. Sometimes it's saying yes to the path that terrifies you because it finally feels right. This is the sacred art of shifting. You don't need to announce your jump. You live it. You become the version of yourself who no longer needs to wait. And that's when the shift crystallizes. Because the truth is, you're not moving through time. Time is moving through you. You are the still point in the center of infinite spirals. And each thought, each choice, each act of courage is a declaration of which thread you now walk. The universe is not reacting to you. It is echoing you. It is mirroring the vibration you hold consistently, even quietly. So when your vibration shifts, your life must follow. This is why the mystic does not rush the process. They become the process. They wake up with reverence, tune their field with intention, and walk each moment as a bridge between the visible and the invisible. They don't need to know what tomorrow looks like. They only need to feel who they are becoming, because they understand that's what shapes tomorrow. And here's where it gets beautifully strange. Sometimes The shift happens before you make the change. You might feel the new version of you emerging weeks before your outer life reflects it. You might lose interest in certain people, places, or identities before you fully understand why. You might start speaking differently, dressing differently, nurturing your body, protecting your peace, without any conscious goal in mind. This is soul intelligence. This is future you, pulling you forward through frequency. It is subtle, it is sacred, and it is already happening. Right now, there is a version of you who is not burdened by this moment's heaviness. There is a version of you who laughs louder, sleeps deeper, speaks more truthfully, creates more boldly, and loves more freely. You do not need to become them. You need only remember that you are already on the way. Your job is not to fabricate the future. It is to clear the static so you can hear its invitation. So take a breath. Feel your body. Anchor into this moment. This is not just another day. It is a hinge point in your soul's unfolding. And what you choose now, what you feel now, is the frequency that echoes forward, shaping the road ahead. Every word you speak, every boundary you hold, every ounce of forgiveness you extend, these are not just actions, they are timeline keys. And if you're asking, have I already jumped? The answer is probably yes. Each time you said, I am done with this pattern, and meant it. Each time you faced your fear and moved anyway. Each time you trusted the unknown, instead of clinging to the illusion of control. You jumped, and now, the work is staying awake inside the new timeline, because it's easy to fall asleep again, to drift back into old thoughts, to re-entertain stories that no longer fit. But you have a choice now, to stay anchored in the frequency you've become, to keep tuning your body like an instrument to the music of your highest self. And when you do, not once but daily, gently, reverently, you begin to live the new timeline, not just visualize it. And that is where the magic becomes permanent. So what is timeline jumping? It's a remembering, it's an embodiment, it's a return to your power. You don't chase the better version of your life. You wake up inside it. You don't need permission. You are the portal. You don't need proof. You are the evidence. So close your eyes. Feel the light within your chest. And know this. You are already walking the new timeline. Every cell knows. Every breath affirms. Every quiet act of self-honor whispers, I'm not who I was yesterday. You don't have to go back. You only have to stay awake. The light in you is remembering. Don't turn away now. Subscribe to Ascended Alchemist. If you're ready to live this wisdom, not just understand it, because what's coming next isn't just another video. It's the next version of you.